What's up, YouTube and horse racing fans? Welcome to another special episode of the Inside Post. Yes, we have Belmont picks for the meet at Saratoga. Belmont going under renovations, so we got a little bit of Belatoga. Gonna give you our best bets and a long shot pick for these stakes races on the Friday card, June 7th at Saratoga. What a race weekend we appreciate everyone. Make sure to like, subscribe down below. We are so close to hitting our 1,000 mark for subscribers, so we would love to do that before the Belmont Stakes. So let's help us out here and kick it off on our Friday card. So we're going to go through races 9 through 12, again giving you a best bet and a long shot contender for each one of these stakes races. And we're going to kick it off in the Grade 2 Intercontinental on Friday. Going 5.5 furlongs on the turf for these fillies in mare. And what a race we have to kick this off. Top pick right now, number 6, Roses for Deborah, weather permitting. Who knows what we'll see. It comes out of the Giants Causeway, a winner in that Grade 3. Sticks with Irad Ortiz aboard for Christophe Clement. Looks to be the best filly mare in here right now. Love the gray color out of Liam's map. Just horse looks phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Possibly loves the Saratoga turf. As you can see, she's 2 for 2 at Saratoga lifetime. So look at what she's done outside of the Breeders' Cup turf sprint. She's been fairly dominant. In the Caress, the Smart and Fancy, third in the Turf Monster, not too bad. She was beaten favorite in there, and then rebounds really big in the Giants Causeway. Really kind of disappointing in that turf sprint, but does come back off of a pretty big layoff from November to April and fires right away in a Grade 3 stakes race. So she's trying to get back to Grade 1 category. So we're going to try this Grade 2 Intercontinental. Looks to be the best fitted, 101 in that rebound race. Looks really sharp in her workouts. Basically the layoff was not even an issue for her. Looks to be the best one in here. Possibly going too deep in this one. Love Reigns is another good one. Wesley Ward, Joel Rosario, second in that race. 96 speed figure, the Giants Causeway, behind Roses for Deborah. Was a little bit of a prize, 8-1. Kind of came up, rallied, and then just kind of got stuck in there. So we'll see if Rosario has anything else to throw at Roses for Deborah. If you're wanting to single, Roses for Deborah would be a good one in here. Love Reigns looking to take a stab at her yet again. Both of these horses kind of playing off of each other. A little bit of early speed for Roses for Deborah. Love Reigns kind of going to sit a little mid-pack deep in here, so it's kind of up in the air. I don't see a whole lot of speed right now. Early Future is now, and Lady Milagro looks to be the speed of the field. Our third pick, possibly going to leave this one off of pick 4, pick 5 tickets. Run for the Hills, Jose Ortiz and Mark Cassie. Comes out of the Unbridled Sydney, third in there, beating by Ova Charge, who was a really good horse. This was a huge prize at 24-1, but nobody was beating Overcharged in that race at Churchill. Kind of like it just because of the late kick that this horse could have. We know Coffee Maker and possibly, what did I say, Lady Milagro was going to go out early. So we'll see. One will probably be one to use underneath. Same thing with number 8, Gal in a Rush. This is another Christophe Clement horse. Seems to be trying stakes company for the first time. Ran in some allowance first and second, but the horse has been hitting the board really well. So we'll see if it can back up that 90 speed figure in that last out. Workouts have been a little bit of off or nothing too spectacular. 10-1 if this stays there. It's worth using for your underneath in a trifecta. Race 10 on the card. This is the one of the 3 Grade 1 stakes races in here. We have Just a Game Stakes. I believe 500,000. Yes, Inner Turf, 4 fillies and mares, 4-year-olds, and up. Number 4, Coppice will be our top pick. Frankie Dettori, Chad Brown, thinking Chad Brown may have a big weekend here. We'll see. Definitely has some really good contenders. This is interesting. A lot of these horses coming out of this distaff at Churchill, Chili Flag, Coppice, and I believe there was another one that came out of there. Gina Romantica. No, Gina Romantica was in the Ginny Wiley, and so was Boat Catchy. But anyways, Coppice seems to be better than what she ran into in that distaff. Frankie Dettori gets another go at her here. Pretty familiar with the horse. I think he's been on her like 3 or 4 times. So should set a little better. And this will be her second start in the States. So usually when we see horses ship in, it usually takes a start or two. So for her to fire in that first one, she should be sitting on a really big race coming in here as well. Just like I said, second time here. Kind of getting comfortable, getting used to some trainings. Been training on this, it looks like the Saratoga track or Saratoga turf. So should be one that's definitely going to have some early speed, but then has a huge late kick as we're set up to go a mile. So definitely one to take into consideration. 3-1 right now. There's a lot of good price horses in here. But Coppice looks to be really good. And like I said, kind of like it coming into the States on basically her second start. Next, we're going to use number 7 in White Beam. Another Chad Brown horse, Flavion Pratt. This is like the Chad Brown Stakes, and he's got several in here. One that's just been consistent. If you look back, 2 grade 1s, the First Lady and the Matriarch. Finished 4th in those behind some of the other runners in Boat Kachi, Gina Romantica, Evie Jets. But then kind of picked it up a little bit in the Begay, the grade 3 at Belmont, or Aqueduct. Finished second in there, however, so hopefully this horse is kind of figuring things out. 5-2 is kind of interesting. I think it's just, you know, the consistency of the horse, the training looks good, the connections, Flavion Pratt, all that. Pretty good second pick. Another one, Chili Flag, third option in here. Sticks with Irad Ortiz for Chad Brown again. As our third pick, another one with some late speed that should be running late with Coppice as well. Does come out of that distaff, winning there, beating out Coppice and DeLeje. So another one that's marked for good. Basically, any of these Chad Brown horses are going to run big or should run big. Gina Romantica, obviously kind of disappointing in the Ginny Wiley, so we'll see if she can pick up a rebound in here, possibly one to use. Again, Butte Kachi or Boat Kachi, winner of that Ginny Wiley at a huge price. We'll see if that horse can back it up. Big 101 speed figure. But our long shot, we're going to go with Inside Mission of Joy. Has some pretty good pace numbers in here, 92 early and a 103 late. This is Graham Motion and Johnny Velasquez. Does come out of that distaff as well. Finished 4th in there. We'll see. I think it's probably going to have the same trip, but at 12-1, probably going to use underneath and see if we can just steal one in here. Has a pretty good, 2 pretty good trainings so far. Again, I think this was at Fairgrounds or the training track at Saratoga. So we'll see if this one can back it up, but definitely one that's coming in to a grade 1 after, you know, coming out of some grade 2s. So deep field, you almost have to use every Chad Brown horse in here just because, and then possibly trying to steal it with Mission of Joy or something. All right, race 11. We have the New York. This is 1 3/16 on the turf. Hopefully some of these races stay on the turf. But we'll see what happens with the weather as we get closer to Friday and Saturday. I guess I didn't mark our top pick. Oh, there it is. Number 2, English Rose, Charlie Appleby, William Buick. Another one that's shipped in, ran at Keeneland back in April in the Ginny Wiley, finished second to, again, the Boat Kachi that runs previously. We'll face, again, Dadia in here as well. I just think this horse is ready to go off, you know, the second time. Shipping in, looks good. Usually we see them fire back-to-back, so nothing wrong with that. Obviously, if he's keeping this horse here, there's a good reason for it. Out of Frankel, Galileo on top on the sire side, owned by Godolphin. has all the connections. We'll see if it likes the Saratoga turf, if it sticks to the turf as well. If we do have a little bit of wet, usually the European horses run really well on good yielding turf and makes really good adjustments on that wet grass. So we'll see if English Rose kind of backs that up. Second, we're going to use a bigger price in here at 10-1. We got McCulloch for IRAD and Chad Brown. Like I said, hopefully Chad Brown has a big weekend. I believe this was the Shepherd's Bay Grade 3 again. Belmont at Aqueduct going this 1 mile and 3/8. Finished fourth in there behind some of the others. Royalty Interest, Star Fortress. I believe it was like 2 to 3 wide and then just kind of faltered. Again, Manny Franco was aboard IRAD, not aboard on that one. But then if you go back to the Orchard, the Grade 3, 92 not career best, 92 speed figure in there. Set a little bit in the mid-pack, made a big late kick and was able to win by a half length. So again, 2 to 3 wide. So hopefully we get a little bit better trip in here being on the rail, as it has some late speed. So that should not be an issue for McCulloch and Irad Ortiz, but kind of like the price at 10-1. Third, Warlock Goddess, one you have to use. You just never know when she's going to fire. 4-1 is really not a good price just because look what she's coming out of, that Breeders' Cup turf. Finishing 7th. Haven't seen her since November. Is she ready to go? Big question mark right now coming into a really big graded stakes race. And long shot, American Sonya, Frankie Dettori, Joseph O'Brien. Obviously, I believe not in this race. I thought Frankie was on another horse and kind of jumped off of this one. So 10-1, we're going to use this. Joseph O'Brien shipping this one in for this race. When it goes long, Euro shippers usually dominate. So we'll see. It's kind of hard to kind of pick out pace scenario. Looks like it could have some early and a little bit of late kick. It has ran once. The Saratoga Oaks, I believe, is what this was here at Saratoga, finishing second in there with Oasis Murphy aboard, beating out by Elusive Princess. So he's going to get another shot at the Saratoga track. So we'll see. I like 10-1. Probably not going to take a whole lot of money. So this should be a pretty good price horse to use with some of the other top contingents. Again, like I said, number 2, English Rose, the Dia, is a horse that you just got to love and root for. Aspen Grove has some lead speed and a pretty big price at 20-1, but American Sanja are long shot play in here to kind of steal a little bit of value. And the finale, we're going to race 12. This is the Grade 1 Acorn, going 1 mile and 1/8. 3-year-old fillies, again, kind of the Kentucky Oaks contenders or the Black-Eyed Susan contenders. Looks to be a really good race yet again. What are we going to get? I think we'll get a showdown between, obviously, number 9, Thorpedo Anna, 8-5. Kenny McPeak, Brian Hernandez looking to go for that, I guess, Triple Crown double yet again. Would be something amazing to see. Winner of the Grade 2 Fantasy, and obviously the Kentucky Oaks just did that amazingly. I think it was like 4 links just cleared away in the slop. Could get another sloppy wet track in here. Thorpedo Anna looks great. Has been training with Mystic Dan. Both horses look great and ready to go for this weekend. Trying to beat her, just FYI. Love the horse in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Fired back in the Ashland, beat out by Leslie's Rose. And obviously a second to Thorpedo Anna in that Grade 1 Kentucky Oaks. So hopefully just FYI kind of figures it out. Is really progressing, getting a little bit better. We want to see a little bigger number on the speed side here. Let's open 90s or 100 that she breaks through for trainer Wilmot. I mean, she's got the sire, the Justify on top. She's got everything in her favor right now. It's just, let's see if she can put a big race together. And third long shot, we're going with Regulatory Risk and Gunsong. Gunsong coming out of that Black-Eyed Susan, was favorited in there, won by 3 lengths. Everybody's kind of talking about this horse being the contender for Thorpedo Anna. Does have some early speed, but nothing comparable to Thorpedo Anna's. So we'll see where Johnny Velasquez will set up, probably just outside, just like he did in the Black-Eyed Susan, and then try to just run her down in the stretch. Could set up pretty good in there. Again, has a go at the sloppy wet track for gun song, so kind of one to take into consideration for an off track. Regulatory Risk ran third in the Kentucky Oaks. Again, another one using it if it is an off slop track. Has a third place, a first, and a fifth. Best notable, obviously, the Kentucky Oaks finishing third in there at a really big price of 30-1. So there's our picks for Friday stakes action. We will post a link to all the races for Friday, and we'll be posting a video for Saturday's card as well with those stakes races. So again, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notifications as we are gearing up for this amazing Belmont-Saratoga race weekend for the big Belmont Stakes. We thank you for watching, and hopefully you win big.